Hi class. It's taken me a little bit to try to figure out what I actually wanted to talk about. Unfortunately, I didn't want to leave it to the after this is to do, but this is probably one of my favorite subjects to talk about. I talk about it with quite a bit of people. It's not only a cool story, it's also a praise. I give Jesus credit for it because it's a testament to his glory. Um, basically, what I want to talk about my commemorative speech is how I met my wife, my best friend. Um, growing up, actually, when I after high school, I've never ever really had dated much. I had a serious relationship with one female one time and didn't work out. And before the whole internet dating boom became, um, I never, when it was kind of in its infant stages, I never ever ever thought I would date anybody online. I did it a couple times, didn't work out. I prayed about meeting somebody someday. I even had specific things that I asked God for. And let's see, it wasn't until I was at my parents' house. I was living with roommate, somebody I worked with, and I was on a website. I don't even know if it even does chat rooms anymore, but I was on collegeclub.com, and there's somebody in there that was her username was JSSSLMT25, and for some reason I thought it was a very strange but curious username, and seen her a few times in there, and finally one day, after there's this one guy that was in there. Him and I was always battled out, but he was kind of picking on her, so I stood up for him because I don't know, just sometimes he got on my nerves, and sometimes we just went at it. But anyways, I defended her, and I got to know her a little bit and asked her what her username meant, and she said Jesus' soulmate, and I thought that was really cool. So it took a few years. Never thought I really wasn't interested in her like that at first. Um, funny thing is, I would always call her on February 15th, day after Valentine's Day. Then one year, um, called her up. I can't remember exactly how it all. She could tell me like it was yesterday, but we started talking and started really talking, and then one day we make sure this isn't going over time. Okay. One day I went to church and I knew this one guy, very gifted, prophetic speaking, told me that I was going to um, get on a plane, fly somewhere, and I was like, huh? That didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, okay. So right after I got out of the church there and talked with them, my best friend's mom at the time, she told me that she just found out her one of her friends in San Antonio was going to get married. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, my friend at the time, I said, Missy's, she's in Lubbock. She goes, oh, yeah? If you want, I'll give you a ticket and you can go meet her. I was like, what? I was just like, that's it. Walter just said something about I was going to fly an airplane. So that's how I got hooked up to meet her, and that was the best week of my life. Um, I'll never ever forgive anything. Anytime anything is going bad, we, for whatever reason, don't get along. Husband and wife, sometimes things happen and in disagreements. I immediately start praying and I just think about that week, and it just kind of settles me down, sets me back into place. So yeah, that's it really taught me. Oh yeah, and then after I met her, it took me about a month to come back to meet her, and I drove on 3 hours of sleep. Took exactly 28 hours, I think, as MapQuest says, and I had finally got to Lubbock, where she was going to school, and didn't want to wake up the next day because I was pretty much flattened. Because once I drive and have my mindset, pretty much that nothing stops me. But I learned as much as people may tell me not to do something, because I had a lot of people saying, no, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do this. I'm like, I felt Jesus was in charge of this, so it's alright. If I don't do it, then it's my fault. So I did it, and now we're married and have a couple kids, and just living the life. And so God gave me that gift, and just keeps on giving. And if I could stop saying that'd be awesome. That is pretty much what I have. Hopefully I have met the time limit, and I have.